Sounds correct. Welcome, Realm family, to another episode of Wrestling with the Realm podcast. I'm Brian, one half of the Power and Glory of Wrestling podcast, and on the other side, he is the Hercules to my Paul Roma. He's my guy, Will. Will, what are we talking about?
Long awaited WrestleMania 42
Ooh,
review. Guys, I can't tell you how excited I am for this one. I know
yep.
Brian feels the same way.
Mm-hmm.
There is a lot, and I mean a lot, to dive into. This is the WrestleMania of the good, the bad, and the really, really ugly.
Yes,
So
perfect.
I feel like with night one, we're going to get into a little bit of this real, real ugly.
Yep.
Then as we continue to talk, we're gonna start getting into the real, real good, guys. So, Brian, let's start off right away and let's take out some ugly. LA Knight and the Usos defeat iShow Speed and the Vision, Austin Theory and Logan Paul.
Hmm.
Where do I start? I want to start off by saying this. I am impressed with iShow Speed. I thought he did a halfway decent job. I mean, he's a
Yep.
superb athlete. I just am so mad that the only reason they got him on there was for that because we can throw the match away. Like it was a nothing burger of a match.
Yes.
But the only reason you have him on this card is for his jump to the outside, the elbow drop. It was phenomenal. But man, Tiffany Stratton and Julia put on a pretty good match on Friday Night SmackDown
Yeah.
for the title. And I wish that was here. It just I that's all I could think about as I was watching SmackDown was that match should be here. And it feels like a waste of a match to start off the show, and that's not how I want to start my
Yeah.
WrestleMania. So Brian, what's our new rating system we're
Yeah,
doing?
okay, you're reading my mind, Will. So I just pulled out my trusty WWR notebook, my notes notebook,
Love it.
and I was gonna say, since we're going off of the Realm on Film podcast review scale from now on, which is we give a thumbs up or a thumbs down, and then whether we would watch it again. So on Realm on Film, we're talking about movies. For wrestling events and matches, that's what we're talking about. So I'm gonna keep track for each of us. We'll go through match by match, and we'll either give a thumbs up, thumbs down, and if we would watch the match again. Because again, there was a zombie match once that is a thumbs down, but I went to YouTube and watched it. So there's
Exactly.
that. So yeah,
Exactly.
Will, what? So where are you going?
Gosh, I'm for sure giving it a thumbs down. I would watch the iShow Speed clip again. Would I watch the match?
Yep.
No, but you guys should watch the clip. Go to the shorts, go to the TikTok and watch the
Yep.
clip. We have it posted up there. So after you're done with this video, go give that a like.
You guys go to that short and let us know in the comments if you give the match a thumbs up or a thumbs down and if you would watch the match again. I'd be curious to hear what you guys think. I love that we're doing this ranking system through the matches now. Dave Meltzer,
Yeah.
your star system can suck a fat one. This is the real right here.
Yep, thumbs up, thumbs down.
So so right away, this WrestleMania, I'll show my hand a little bit. I had high hopes. I was happy that they were back in my city, they were back in Vegas, and I thought they could fix the problems they had last year. Because last year, one of my biggest gripes was it didn't feel like a WrestleMania and there wasn't anything Vegas about it. You're in Las Vegas. Do Vegas. There is not a showgirl to be seen. Wayne Newton isn't in the crowd. He's not singing the national anthem. I get TKO has a different vision than what it used to be, but I just saw a clip of like Vince unveiling WrestleMania, whatever, the one that was in New York. But it was a big deal with like the stage reveal, and it's the Statue of Liberty and the Brooklyn Bridge, and it had a theme and a vibe to it because of the city. I've always come to expect that. So I was super disappointed last year. I thought they would fix it this year, and they said, no, no, actually, what we're going to do is we're doubling down. We're doubling down on Vegas. So we're going to do the same we did last time. So right away, I was put off because I could tell they weren't going to do that. Then we get to
For
this
sure.
match, and on paper, night one on paper looks like a decent card. The problem becomes when you start forcing storylines and you start forcing outside celebrities or influencers into the storyline for no reason. That's a problem, and it stands out like a sore thumb. Celebrities have always been a part of WrestleMania, but Bob Uecker didn't get into the ring with Roddy Piper. Like that's not, and
Yeah.
we'll get to a match where they do use a celebrity perfectly, and that'll be a good match. So not only do you do this super irritating story where you go, well, we have the Vision, which is falling apart, but it's Logan Paul, so he's got to be on the show. And we have the Usos, everybody likes to yeet, so they have to be on the show. LA Knight is a real, like, people want to see him, so he's got to be on the show. What can we do? Let's book a six man that makes no sense whatsoever. There's no tag championship on the line. Danny was super confused and upset about that. So,
Yeah.
so my
I
wife Danny
agree.
watched both nights with me, and it was a lot of fun. So it was fun to get her take through the whole show. And she was like, "Well, wait a minute. The championships aren't changing hands." I was like, "No, it makes no sense. You started the show with that. That is the bigger sin to me." I'm used to when we do these retro rewatches, you have the Rockers starting out pay-per-views. You have Shawn Michaels starting out pay-per-views. And I'm talking about back in the 90s, everybody. But you would do that because you know you're going to get a good match and you know it's going to be exciting and it's going to get that crowd excited. This crowd was dead from the beginning because this match made no sense. They tried to save it at the end with I Show Speed, and it was a great bump, and he earned my respect. And I can see him doing some work in the ring, and he took his bump, and good for him. You know what I mean? Like he took his initiation. I like that Wade Barrett said that, that didn't feel good at all, but that moment is going to make up for it for him. And I go, yeah, he's initiated now. And it was a good moment. It doesn't save this dumb match from starting a show that seems boring as hell. Crowd is dead and nobody's doing anything to get him in it. Brian, thumbs down. And no, I wouldn't watch this match again. I would watch the short of I Show Speed doing the cool bump. I was in a bad mood right from the beginning. And we
Well,
weren't, and we kind of talked about it in our preview show that these
yeah.
first couple of matches, that was the other thing. It's the freebie on ESPN2, or not freebie, because you still have to have cable to do that. So it's a really weird thing. They're dumb. Um, that bubble's gonna burst, everybody. TKO, I can't wait. It's gonna be so fun. But those were the free matches that they wanted to give people to go, ooh, that's good. I want to watch more because they think people are going to see I Show Speed and Logan Paul and go, ooh, I just like watching that. Well, guess what? You guys don't know your fan base because it doesn't work that way. So the fact that they started this show, it was one of the free matches. We were worried that if these free matches on ESPN2 were crap, it's going to be a rough weekend.
I'm gonna ramble on a little bit here
Go, Will.
because of our next match, the unsanctioned match between Jacob Fatu, who defeated Drew McIntyre. And my biggest problem is this isn't a terrible match by any means. It's not bad objectively. You can't put Jacob Fatu in a ring with Drew McIntyre and it be a terrible match like the one above that we were
Mm-hmm.
just talking about.
Yep.
It's just the fact that how bad it underdelivered. That's why this will go
Mhm.
down as a bad match. You have an unsanctioned match between two of the most violent people in WWE with bad blood between them.
Yep.
And the best we get is a toolbox and a moonsault through a table. That's beyond disappointing. And don't
You
tell me
called
it's
this,
not.
Will. Like
Yeah,
you literally called this. You said because it's that ESPN2 match that are they going to go there? Because we know what we're supposed to expect in these matches, and they didn't have to do it. They didn't do it, and you called it. You
they
were on
did.
that.
They didn't, and it me off. And I was
Yeah.
so frustrated watching this match because the potential that it had. And when I hear unsanctioned match, at some point, if you have a chance, go back and watch the latest unsanctioned match that we had before
Mm-hmm.
this. If we're
Yep.
not counting the three stages of hell match with
Heck. Three
Cody and
stages of
Drew,
heck.
three stages of
Three
heck.
stages of heck.
It was Grayson Waller and Johnny Gargano at Stand and Deliver before WrestleMania 39.
Yeah.
And that is a peak wrestling match. And that's what an unsanctioned match should look like. It looked like when Grayson Waller lost that match, he was about to die. And that's what I expected between these two.
Yep.
We didn't get anywhere near that. We got the lightest version of Extreme Rules. You got an Extreme Rules match that would close out an episode of Friday Night SmackDown.
Yeah.
For that reason, I'm going with a huge thumbs down, and I will for sure not be rewatching this match, which is a damn shame because these two are amazing. And, hopefully better things to come with Jacob Fatu.
Yeah. It's
Brian, thoughts?
God. It's one of those matches again, and we said it on paper, you can't this up. You're having an unsanctioned match, which again, another pet peeve of mine. Quit it with the unsanctioned match and the street fight. There are no DQ match. Like
Yeah,
there's nothing different that make these stand out, which again, that was a gripe I had last year. You have a Vegas street fight that takes place inside the ring with nothing Vegasy. Like nobody pulled out like a smaller version of the Las Vegas sign and smashed it over somebody's head. Like again, maybe I'm going back to the Attitude Era too much, but I go, they kind of do this kind of stuff in NXT and it works. And use this gimmick. You guys are the ones who came up with the unsanctioned match. Use it.
yeah,
Nobody is going into the crowd. There's nothing happening backstage. Like, I don't understand how you can have this type of match or a street fight and you don't do any of those things. Sol Ruka and Zarya at NXT Revenge, everybody who watched that short, thank you for that. And if you haven't, go watch that and see the bump that Sol Ruka took and the story
yeah,
that those two were telling. That was better than anything they did in this unsanctioned match. And even if you think the buildup to that big spot at the end of that match wasn't as good as this, that spot makes up for it because it did some. It's a last woman standing match. You have to do something to earn that. They
yeah,
did. And Drew McIntyre and Jacob Fatu, it's not their fault because again, I go, there's no way that you can mess that up. Somebody somewhere had this be the match. I find it hard to believe that some of this stuff was booked by Triple H or Rude or any of those guys. TKO has their stink all over this, and it's apparent. So, no, I'm giving this match. I was so mad at this point, Will. I was getting so mad while watching it at this point. I started to get excited because I was like, oh, this is going to be fun to talk about. This is
yep.
turning into a dumpster fire. So, no, it is a thumbs down. And no, I'm not watching this match again.
Yeah, at this point in the pay-per-view, I was just looking for anything to cheer me up.
Yeah. And it's
And
not the commercials. The commercials weren't
oh,
doing that.
no. And that's another thing we'll eventually touch on. We are
Yeah.
for sure going to touch on it when it comes to a match that we have later in the show. But this is another match that was just cut short on time.
Yep.
The WWE Women's Tag Team Championship Fatal 4-Way with the champions being Lash Legend and Nia Jax. You have Brie Bella and the returning Paige which I thought was probably maybe one of the better moments of night one. You have Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair, and then Bayley and Lyra Valkyria. And this is another match that I can't actually even formulate an opinion on because it was 6 minutes long.
Yeah.
How am I supposed to sit here and tell you guys what moves I liked? The only thing I can really tell you guys is I thought it was cool that we got a Charlotte and Paige stare down. Hopefully that's something we can revisit. But I hope they do the nostalgia act better than they did it with AJ Lee, but that's something we'll probably
Yeah.
talk about in the next match. But I'm gonna be honest here. I can't tell you guys what I thought was good about a 7 minute match. The best part about it was Nia Jax and Lash Legend as Demolition, which Brian pointed out to me, which was sick. That was such a cool reference. And of course, Brian caught that one. Like I just caught my falling fan right there. That was a y'all didn't see that, but that was a crazy catch. Um, but yeah, I mean, I don't know what to tell you guys. WWE, less commercials, more professional wrestling. It's not ad mania. Like, at least with the Super Bowl, with this being their Super Bowl, you get the ads, but you get the full game time no matter what. This, it varied because we got more ads than we did wrestling, it felt like.
Yeah.
It is WrestleMania. I need more than 45 minutes to an hour of professional wrestling. I felt like I got that in ads. And this was a match that definitely suffered from it. It suffered from a brutally long return from Paige, which was a very cool moment, but that took up so much of the time here. The return was longer than the match, it felt like. So for that, I'm giving it a thumbs down, unfortunately, and I hate to do it. I won't put my thumbs down because you have so many good competitors in this match that deserve to be on this show and just got screwed over by the ads and the time given. And I wouldn't rewatch it. And that's sad because I definitely had some higher hopes for this match. Brian, what are your thoughts?
The best things about this match were, like you said, was Lash Legend and Nia Jax entrance. I was giddy. I already love Lash Legend and Nia Jax. I was like, oh my God, that's demolition. I had to quickly pull out my phone to show my wife and go, see, here's what they're doing. Here are those guys. I go, oh my God, I got to make a short of that because it's so great that they're doing that because Demolition was inducted into the Hall of Fame. It was such a great homage. I love that they did the hockey mask with the studs on it. I It was great. Everything. They had the shoulder straps, everything.
It was
Chef's
great.
kiss. I love that. I love the Irresistible Forces. Uh, I liked Charlotte and Alexa's entrance. I love that Charlotte's a butterfly and Alexa was a moth. Very cool. Then Paige came out and I was irritated. I don't like Paige. I don't like AJ Lee. I know people are going to be very upset about that.
They're going to get it.
Sorry, I don't get it with them. I'm not impressed by anything that they're doing. They bother me. I'm not trying to be mean. I feel like I'm being mean
No,
now.
no, that's
Um,
your opinion.
I I don't care for Paige, and it made me wonder, so what would they have done if Nikki Bella could have went?
Shoot. I don't know.
Would they have just pulled somebody else off the show like Bailey so they could put her out there?
If they did that again to Bailey, Bailey would be on a one-way ticket to
Uh-huh.
AEW so fast.
So that's what you call a segue, folks. I mention that because as Paige is coming down to the ring, I go, they better not have them win. I said, if they have them win, that's embarrassing. And what did they do? They put the belt on Brie Bella and Paige, just like last year. If they are actively going to disrespect those championships, what's the point of having them? You did it last year for Becky Lynch for some reason that never materialized into anything of substance. If there was, we don't remember it, which means it didn't mean anything. And now you're doing it again this year. That is crazy to me that they thought that was the right move. Having her come back is great. That's a great surprise for people who are fans of Paige. But then you go and you actually put the championship on Paige. So
100.
so would you have put it on Nikki and Brie Bella if Paige wasn't there? Or would the
No.
booking have changed because of that? And if that's the case, I go, I'm assuming that's not how you book. Going in and going, hey, you know what? Uh, we have Paige now. Well, let's make them the champions and see where that goes. Well, didn't you have a plan before that? So why are you abandoning that? So I hate that. It made me mad. And I wish that I could give this match a thumbs up. And I wish that I would want to watch this again because, like you said, it has so many people in it that I like. But the whole thing left a bad taste in my mouth. And by the end of it, I was mad at who they decided to have win that match. So thumbs down. And no, I'm not watching this again either. And this is a horrible start to this pay-per-view.
Yo, I never thought I'd say this, but kind of justice for Bailey, man.
Yeah,
She is getting done
yeah,
so wrong, I felt. I just feel that way. And I
yeah,
shouldn't because she beat Io and won the Rumble
yeah,
at WrestleMania 40. But, to be taken out for Becky Lynch, the bigger star, and
yeah,
then for you to get that moment with the same teammate going into WrestleMania 42, and then to get it taken away
yeah,
again from the bigger star returning,
yeah.
that's just messed
It
up.
is, yeah.
It
Yep.
is messed up, man.
Hmm.
This is it. All that being said, you made a really good point there, Brian. I feel like this is just off to a terrible start. And let me tell you guys, doesn't get much better. WWE Women's Intercontinental Championship match. Becky Lynch defeats the champion AJ Lee to become the first ever three-time IC champ. First of all, Becky doesn't need this belt anymore, guys. It's time to give it up. I thought they were going to put it on Io Sky on Monday. I would have loved that. But
Yeah.
man, she does not need this belt. She needs to be in the main
Yep.
event scene, feuding with a Liv Morgan. That feud would be money. Anything else, feuding with anybody but AJ Lee or anyone in the mid card. And I feel like it's just redundant to put this belt back on her because she already elevated it. There's
Yeah.
nothing left for her to do. She put over the younger, talented Maxine Dupree. You blew that just so you
Hmm.
could put it back onto AJ Lee before WrestleMania. There's so much wrong with all of this. And on top of that, I'll give you credit where credit's due, Brian. You did call the Jessica Carr interference. Jessica Carr seemingly helps Becky Lynch win this
Yes.
belt. But once again, a match that's less than 8 minutes. So
Yeah.
what am I going to sit here and tell you guys about the match? It's so unfortunate. It was a fast-paced match where Jessica Carr gets involved and costs AJ Lee the championship. And if that's my notes for you guys on the match,
Yeah.
thumbs down. They've had better matches and they've been feuding for over half a year. So thumbs down, and I would go back and rewatch one of their matches. I forget exactly what pay-per-view it was that they wrestled at, but they had a good match. I want to say it was, gosh, why am I blanking? It's when AJ Lee won the title. That was at Elimination Chamber?
Is that was it? Yeah, because that was in Chicago.
Yeah, it was. That
Yes.
was a
Yeah.
good match. I
Yeah.
enjoyed that. I didn't
Should have
enjoy
been the
this.
blow off.
Yeah, that should have been it. And you should have had AJ Lee
Yeah.
versus Roxanne Perez, and
Yep.
that would have been so much better than
Yep.
this. And you for that, thumbs down. And I'm not rewatching it again, Brian.
Boy, the best thing I can say about this match is that I'm glad that it puts an end to the AJ Lee Becky Lynch story. That is the only positive that I can say about this.
Yes.
It's not Becky Lynch's fault. I think Becky Lynch was trying to do the best with this character that I think she's very good at and understands it and understands the assignment and makes it work. But the story was stale. There wasn't any sizzle to it at all. And again, AJ Lee does nothing for me. I don't see what the appeal is. I don't think that her shtick or gimmick is particularly captivating. Her in-ring work is meh. I feel like, and again, I'm not.
No,
She can work and do all that stuff, but in the context of this match, none of it was exciting. And again, for anybody who that is your thing and you were very excited for that match, I would love to know if you would be honest enough to actually fairly grade it. If you are somebody who really likes AJ Lee and was really excited to see this match, be honest and leave a comment below and honestly give us your review of it. Because I feel like if you're being fair, I don't know how high you could rate this match based off of, the merits of the match and the story that's been built up. Because we'll get to something soon that I'll keep it 100 and I'll be honest about it. So I hope you guys do too. So the only good thing about this match is that it's the blow off match and it's over. That's not a good sign. So no, it's a thumbs down and I'm not going to watch this match again. And I'll add this up to this point. It's been sloppy so far. Every match has been kind of a sloppy match. It hasn't been crisp. And this one, unfortunately, with the people that were working this match, it's not a great combo. It just everything has seemed a little bit sloppy so far. So, yeah, no, this is not going well.
Well, I'll tell you this much, Brian. The professional wrestling picks up in the next match we have where
Yes.
Gunther defeats Seth Rollins. And this match makes me want Gunther versus Seth Rollins in a, I don't know, 60-minute Iron Man match. Like,
Ooh.
I could watch these two wrestle
Ooh.
for a very long time. Now, did we get enough of it? No. Did they get forced into a bit of a finisher fest? Whereas the beginning of this match was very technical. It's the style of wrestling I enjoy watching. The
Hmm.
technical pace at the beginning that picks up as the match goes on, and you get a little bit more of a spot fest. And it has that main event feel to it almost. I want this match and I want it in a long form. Unfortunately, but fortunately, I mean, it's a cool moment. We
Yeah.
predicted this on the pod. Braun Breaker comes back. He gives Seth Rollins two really ugly spears. And
Shockmaster moment of the weekend right there.
yeah, I didn't have much for the Shockmaster
Yep,
moment.
that is
So,
it. I'm calling
yeah,
it. That is the worst spear he has ever done, and the worst spear that Seth Rollins has ever taken. That is Shockmaster moment, guys. I think they would probably be honest and tell you too.
yeah, no, they would definitely be like, yeah, we sucked right there. But outside of that, this match is really good. So, you want to know what, Brian? I'm going to give it a thumbs up, and I would go rewatch it. It has a lot of rewatch value. You
Yeah,
have a good match between Gunther and Seth, and then you have two really bad spears that I would go back and watch again for Braun Breaker. So, for that reason, Shockmaster moment of the night, and it gets a rewatch. Brian, what
look,
are your thoughts on this one?
a lot of time the Shockmaster moment matches do get a rewatch because there's like sometimes just because there's a Shockmaster moment don't mean it's bad.
Yeah.
Um, just so everybody knows. So for this match, here's another example of something where I go, this match was thrown together in the booking to get these guys on the show because we know injuries and all kinds of stuff messed up the plan for both of these guys. But they needed to do something to get them on the show, and they pulled it off. They put on a good match that they told a story that had no build up about these two just wanting to prove that they're the best. That's it. Very simple, but it also gets Paul Heyman a favor for Gunther. It also gets Braun Breaker back into the picture and inserted into the program with Seth Rollins that we knew was coming, but it also sets up anything in the future, like you said, with Gunther and Seth Rollins. We have a beginning to a story that they haven't even really started telling yet with those two. So they really booked this match well with what they were given. They actually did a good job. I don't know that it felt like a bigger match than something that would have been on like Monday Night Raw or a
Yeah.
Saturday night's main event.
That's a fair point.
But it was a good match. I'm giving it a thumbs up. And yeah, I would watch this match again because I feel like it sets up so many things. Gunther still gets to go over, so he still looks strong, which takes us to something I'm going to talk about a little bit later. And you also keep Seth Rollins. You don't hurt him because Braun Breaker interferes in the match. So I go, well done. You guys did a very good job in this match, but it's the fifth match in, and there's only two matches left.
Brian, I know you've been waiting a minute to talk about this one right here. You can take us away. We have the WWE Women's World Championship match where we had Liv Morgan defeat Stephanie Vaquer, the champion, to become the new world champion. But Brian, the narrative of this story, this match is under 7 minutes long. Take us into it, man. I know you're frustrated and happy at the same time.
Yeah, so this is what I was talking about earlier, guys, about being honest if it's something that you were really looking forward to. So this was the match I was most excited for. Everybody knows I love Liv Morgan. And I thought that this story, they were able to tell it and do a really good job of telling this story and having Liv be that heel and that foil to Stephanie Vaquer. She doesn't have to do a lot of the talking or any of that stuff because Liv can make up for a lot of that. In a weird way, it's like back in the olden days when we would give somebody a manager to do all the talking because they couldn't. In this in this feud, Liv was doing all of that lifting. Not that Stephanie Vaquer wasn't doing her thing, but what I mean is that they made it work in the story. Stephanie Vaquer can speak Spanish, so can Dom. So they're able to use Dom as a translator for Stephanie to Liv and vice versa. And it made that dynamic interesting because of that. Then they started making it a little bit personal. It also gets interesting because, in the words of Jim Cornette, so tell Stephanie I care for brain damage. God, go running in full force into some head. What the wrong with her? Like, so you had all that buildup because you go, why is she working so stiff? She destroys Liv and Roxanne. And again, as Jim Cornette explained, all you need to do is get hands on her. You let Liv and Roxanne take the bump and turn and do what they need to do. You don't come full speed into her from behind when she's talking to somebody that close. But anyways, so that put a little bit of spice into things. Then we get the entrance. I love Liv's entrance. It's amazing. It's the best entrance of WrestleMania. Yes, I'm biased. I love that she's doing a Britney thing. I love that she does the dance. I love her song. We can't stop singing it. Trouble, trouble. That's me. Cherry lips and bad energy. Like it's an earworm. It's awesome. I love it. So the
I
fact that
love
she
that.
did the whole dance routine is amazing. I loved it, thought it was great. Then the bell rang. The bell rang, and they give them 6 minutes. Like, what is like no time for this match? But then what we did get in the match, again, sorry, everybody. I'm over Stephanie Vaquer. I'm I don't know why all of a sudden she's boring and there's nothing there. But there's something about her matches that just aren't working. Now I know we had a feud with her and Nikki Bella. Who else did she have a feud with as her champion in her championship reign? So yeah,
Uh, Raquel, that's really it. But Raquel was the standout in that, I
it,
felt like.
thank you. That's my point. Is that when we've put her in these positions, it hasn't been her that's been the one who shines. It's been the other person. And then what really made me mad in this match is that Liv goes to do the devil's kiss to Stephanie and she doesn't get to do it. But Stephanie gets to do Oblivion. So I don't I need to know why and how. they're protecting the Devil's Kiss as much as they are, but throughout the rest of this pay-per-view, anytime somebody uses somebody else's finisher, they do it back. Between Randy and Cody and with
Yeah,
Punk and Roman. So,
yeah.
those are two main events where same thing happens, but the other finisher gets used. Why is Stephanie Vaquer's Devil's Kiss being protected that way? I'd love to know more about that. Maybe I'm overthinking it, but it bothered me because it didn't seem it didn't seem earned when Stephanie Vaquer did Oblivion to Live. So, again, I love Liv Morgan. I even really like Stephanie Vaquer, and that's why I had such high hopes. But because of this match and because of how this story has ended or how they're going to try to keep it going, I'm kind of done with her and I'm ready for somebody else to step up to that spot. But maybe they can save that. But because of that, I'm giving the match a thumbs down. But I definitely will watch it again for sure. I think what they did in the ring wasn't terrible. It just wasn't anything that we couldn't have seen on SmackDown or Raw. And I don't know if that's because they didn't give them enough time in this match or and again, I'm not putting any blame on Liv. If anybody has a problem with this match or this storyline, it's not Liv Morgan's fault. Just saying. But yeah, thumbs down, but I'd watch it again.
Yeah, I feel the exact same way as you do. I feel like with a match in the review, I mean the preview for this for our predictions, I said that this match could main event
Yeah.
and should main event because of the storyline.
Yep.
For it to get 6 minutes, it felt like I feel like we had multiple 6 minute segments between these two, and it kind of felt like a slap in the face
Thank
almost.
you just read my mind, Will. I was gonna say it almost felt insulting.
It
Yeah.
did. To me as
Yeah.
a fan, I was like, and we're gonna get they're gonna run it back at Backlash. If they do this again to me, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Like, I don't know what my state of watching professional wrestling is gonna be to
Yeah.
keep doing this to me and to all the other fans of these two.
Yeah.
It like I said, I've been saying it. I'm gonna continue to say it. You know, how am I gonna formulate an opinion on the match when it was a finisher fest and it was under 6 minutes? It was fine, but like I know what these two are capable of,
Yeah.
especially together. So for that reason, I'm gonna give it a thumbs down. And there's a world where I rewatch it again. Who knows? If I have 6 minutes to kill,
Oh,
but I don't
that's
know.
so true.
Like I feel disrespected, and you want to know what? That feeling does not change as we head into our main event.
Mm.
It just does not. We have the undisputed WWE Championship match where the champion Cody Rhodes defeats the challenger Randy Orton. And this match is just baffling from start to finish. I texted Brian after this match and I said, "What did I just watch?
Hmm.
What did I just watch?" So let me paint the picture for you guys if you haven't watched, or you can have me side by side. This match starts with Pat McAfee and Randy Orton coming out together, and Cody Rhodes comes out after. Pretty cool entrance. I thought it was like kind
Yeah,
of it was very like superhero-esque where he
it
has all
was.
they had all of his old like it's like if Iron Man came
It
out
was. It was
and
very Iron Man. Yeah.
and he had all the suits he's worn, and then he comes out in his new suit and he trots down to the ring. And then we have Pat McAfee taken out by Jelly Roll. Why? I don't know. I don't know. You have a perfect example of what two people can do on the night two main event if you just let them wrestle. Give them
Yeah.
30 minutes, wrestle. And we get that after Pat McAfee is taken out by Jelly Roll. We get a okay match, but man, is the crowd dead. So those rest holds and those slow moments outside of the ring where they're throwing each other into the pole and into the barricade, those feel really slow. I am on the phone with my brother and I call him, I say, man, this match sucks. And
Yeah.
rewatching it, which I have, it doesn't suck, but man, is it dead. Until we start to pick it up and we trade finishers, you get a super Cody cutter, you get Randy hitting the crossroads, which all eventually leads to a ref bump. And who comes out? Pat McAfee, who is stretchered out in the beginning of all of this.
Yes.
How is he okay? He comes back out, right? In between all this, Cody goes low on Randy, showing that he's willing to turn heel. I'm thinking we're getting the double flip, but no.
Hmm.
Randy eventually comes all the way back, hits an RKO on Cody. Pat comes out to count the three. Cody kicks out, and Randy Orton RKO's Pat McAfee. What are we talking about? This made zero sense. I still don't get an explanation on why this happens. And you want to know what? Shout out Lil Yachty. We'll get to him. He says
Hmm.
it best on SmackDown. The WrestleMania Celebrity Tour is over, and he's still there. Guess what?
Hmm.
Pat McAfee is gone. So
Yes.
we don't get an explanation on all of this. It will go down as a worse main event or a main event on the same caliber of when Travis Scott and John Cena beat Cody Rhodes last year. It is
Oh,
that same level of caliber. How do you do the same story twice in a
yep.
row? At some point, it feels like the higher brass is just with Cody Rhodes at this point.
Mhm.
And as a fan of him, to see his title reigns be victim of such poor booking time in and time out, I I don't even know what to say. Like finishing the story was the one of the greatest moments in professional wrestling
Yep.
history. And how do you follow it up with some of the worst title reigns of all time? And I'm a Cody fan, like one of the biggest. And it's so frustrating to watch him fall victim to some of the worst feuds I've ever watched in my life. And the fact that I'm saying that about Cody Rhodes versus John Cena and Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton, when you have this version
Mhm.
of Cody, and those are dream feuds. And we've been talking about Cody and Randy for upwards of 3 years now. Ever since almost, I think we've been talking about this since the beginning of our podcast. We've been waiting for this match, and we got nothing out of this feud. Oh, and by the way, after the match, Randy Orton punt kicks the out of Cody Rhodes.
Yes.
And that makes no sense either. Because if you wanted him to stand tall at the end of WrestleMania 42, why didn't you put the belt on him?
Yep.
Because if you're good, but at some point, that's why I feel like they're just with Cody at this point.
Hmm.
They have to be. They have to be because it makes no sense for Randy not to go over here and for them to just, start new with Randy at the top of the chain. But no, now you have Cody stranded on Friday Night SmackDown with no Randy Orton and no Pat McAfee, just like he was at the end
Yeah.
of WrestleMania 41. Brian, what are your thoughts? Because I still can't wrap my head around this decision and this match.
Oh, you didn't tell me.
Oh
I,
yeah,
I'm assuming.
thumbs down, and I'm
Okay.
never watching this match ever again.
So when it comes to Cody Rhodes, it just kind of popped in my head that TKO meddles with him more than anybody else. And it has to be because Cody is the face of the company and he's that baby face that Cody is the one who you put in a commercial. Cody is the one who's gonna sell lemonade or whatever the commercials are. You know what I mean? It's they're putting certain people in those positions. And I think because Cody is their top guy and their top baby face, they think that they get more eyes on Cody Rhodes, so they try to associate Cody Rhodes with outside things. The Rock, Travis Scott, Pat McAfee, because if there's a lot of eyes on Cody Rhodes and we want to get more, well, if we put somebody else who's in that same demographic for Cody Rhodes, we want to get those people on our product. So if Cody is our biggest thing going, we want most people to see him. So we think we already have regular fans. So we want to get other people who aren't fans yet. So they think that if they attach a celebrity to it, that's going to get other people in the door and then see Cody and go, we like this guy and this stuff is great. Only they don't understand the business, so they meddle, and that's why Cody's title reigns haven't been good. Finishing the story was, but post that, we can all be honest, it isn't working out great.
No.
And they meddle with him the most, and I think that's the reason why. Um, they put Pat McAfee in this match. It's a fitting end to night one. We're ending it the same way we started it, with celebrity involvement for no reason whatsoever. And it was terrible, just like the beginning of the show. So in this match, you put Pat McAfee in the match. You insert him a couple of weeks ago into a story that didn't need him. Then you end the match by Randy Orton giving him an RKO and eliminating him. So there was no point to that story. Cody in the match works heel by giving low blows and wiping Randy's blood on himself, goes nowhere. It means nothing by the end of the match. It might as well have not happened. This whole match reeks of something that they would have done with Sid Vicious and Hogan back in the day when they had their feud. Only it would have worked better because it was a goofier time. You could have had some weird involvement from a celebrity, and then he comes running back down with a referee shirt on to do a count that will. On our retro rewatch, all I did is have a flashback of Jimmy Hart with the Hogan Brutus Beefcake versus Money Inc. match, where he
Yeah.
pulls off his jacket, turns it inside out, and it's a referee shirt now, and he counts to three, and they act like they won. And I think it's like
Dude, yes.
they're like, yeah, that's not, and like Jim Ross is like, oh, I don't think that counts. He's not an official referee. And you go, why is Pat McAfee running down? Like, this is
Even better
absurd.
point.
It's off kilter. The whole show is off kilter. The stories are. Inserting that element into this match made it feel goofy and Looney Tunes and not the tone that it should have been. And by the end of the match, it might as well have not happened because everything that happened in it means nothing other than Cody got jacked up in his eye. Otherwise, Cody didn't turn heel, even though he acted like a heel. Pat McAfee isn't coming in to save wrestling. He's gone already. And not because Cody did anything, but because Randy Orton turned on him and sent him packing. So
Yep.
what did we do? Nothing. Thumbs down. And no, I'm not watching that flaming dumpster fire turd of a match ever again.
All right, everyone.
Woo!
Deep breath.
Things are going to get a little bit better.
They get a lot better, actually.
Yes. And
You want to know what, everyone? This is where I am at my lowest as a professional wrestling fan. Night two starts. I am thinking this is probably going to be one of the worst WrestleManias of all time.
yep.
But am I surprised? We get to our opener and we get Obafemi defeating Brock Lesnar. And Brian, this match is 5 minutes. It is short. It is surrounded with ads. But that 5 minutes of professional wrestling is exactly what I needed from these two. It is a squash match, but nobody gets squashed. It is
Mhm.
just two behemoths throwing haymakers at each other. You have Obafemi hit one of the coolest fall from graces ever. I mean, for a man to chuck Brock
Yes.
Lesnar in the air, catch him and slam him. That is one of the coolest finishes I've ever seen to a match. I mean, I have watched Brock Lesnar dominate people, dominate my childhood
Yeah.
hero, know our truth, John Cena, multiple times. And to see him just get demolished by Oba. It was the passing of the torch. It was the right thing to do. And then at the end of this match, you have Brock Lesnar throw up the X and say that he is takes the boots off, takes the gloves off, and he is done. I know there's a lot of speculation around that if it's really so, that some people might be pissed off because they don't know if that was how many matches he had left on his contract, but let it be so. Let it be so because this was the perfect way to retire Brock Lesnar. And it was a good showing for him too. He lifted Oba up for the F5,
Hmm.
but you almost have this perfect, like he didn't no sell it. Oftentimes you have people like no sell finishers, and I
Yeah.
hate that. But you have him not phased by it. He kind of like stumbles back up onto his feet right away, and that's when you have the choke slam and the fall from grace.
Yes.
This match, if I were to be like, and it's these two matches actually back to back, and we're going to get into the Intercontinental Championship ladder match. These two matches back to back, if you never watched professional wrestling before, like majority of the fans haven't on ESPN2. If you needed a introduction to it, I would show you these two matches because they are phenomenal. They are exactly what you need to start a show. That's why part of the reason I feel so high about this match is probably because show we got the night before.
Hmm.
But for that reason, this match does get a thumbs up, and I already have gone back and rewatched this match. Brian, your thoughts on this match?
So it's such an interesting turn into night two because expectations were so low. They booked this show better than they did on night one. Night one, when you look back and you see it starting with celebrity stuff and ending with celebrity stuff, I feel like that whole show was tainted with something weird. And it's very interesting that it was bookended that way. Night two didn't have that, and night two felt different. I still didn't think it felt like WrestleMania, but the energy was different. Now you're giving free matches on ESPN proper for the first time ever. The crowd was electric right away for this. This was one of the most anticipated matches going into this WrestleMania. People were ready to see it, and by the time the music was hitting, everybody was ready and they popped. And the match, yeah, it was short. It was a 5 minute match, but it did everything that it needed to do. It didn't need to be a long match. It needed to have Obafemi go over. That's what you've been setting up. If you wouldn't have done that, it wouldn't have worked. So the fact that they're creating this monster Obafemi is amazing and they're doing a great job of it. And I think they booked this match properly to have that happen. And now, here's the interesting thing. They started with this match and they started with the IC ladder match. Trista at work watched night two to see the Jonas Brothers sing the national anthem. She stuck around for these matches, bought the ESPN Unlimited app so she could watch the rest. They got somebody because she went, "Oh, wow, I haven't watched in a long time." It caught her attention.
That's so
So they were
interesting.
doing something right to
Yeah,
start night two. Um, I give this match a thumbs up and I will watch it again. And here's where I'm going to go into the wrestling matrix, Will. So I think I had mentioned to you if they're doing anything, they should be building up to Obafemi and Gunther at next WrestleMania.
yeah,
You don't need a championship in that match. You have these two just to see who is the bigger monster. You have Obafemi, who's been doing what he's doing. He kills the beast, Brock Lesnar, and then Brock Lesnar retires. I'll believe it when I see it, when we know for sure after SummerSlam is done. These are the same people that told us Seth Rollins was really injured, and he wasn't. Uh, not this last time, the time before.
yeah.
So they're not to be trusted, and I'll give the angle that they could use that I could see them doing. But you have Obafemi go over properly, and then you have Gunther again wins at this WrestleMania, Who has he retired now? Goldberg, AJ Styles, John Cena, right? Am I missing
Yep.
anybody?
Nope.
Natalia's coming up. Legends got to watch out around this guy. All right, so he already has them to his collection. We thought maybe it would have been Rey Mysterio here at WrestleMania. That didn't happen. So, if you're building up to Obafemi and Gunther, I wrote down in my note watching our retro rewatch of Survivor Series 1991 really got me thinking, or is it 1990? I always forget. It's The Undertaker's introduction, folks. Go
Yeah.
back and watch it. It's a good one. I mean, go back and watch that pay-per-view and watch our review of it because it's fun. Uh,
Yes.
it made us appreciate the old way that we would do Survivor Series with teams of four. Um, so if we had the old format, because there's too many pay-per-views now. So I'll tell people real quick, if this was back in the 90s, in the 80s when you had four pay-per-views, you had WrestleMania, SummerSlam, Survivor Series, and Royal Rumble. And then you're right back to WrestleMania again. You would tell your stories for the year over those four pay-per-views. In between on weekly TV, you would continue those with promos, but the guys would kind of be doing their own thing. You would mix them up together here and there, maybe on a Saturday night's main event. Okay? So if you have Obafemi and you have Gunther and you want to get them to WrestleMania next year, you could have something where it's Gunther and Rey Mysterio at SummerSlam. Gunther retires Rey Mysterio, but he's not letting go of the sleeper. And Obafemi comes down and breaks it up, and you go, Obafemi just came out, and you go, oh my God, what's going to happen with these two? So that would have been SummerSlam. You'd be starting that story. Then between SummerSlam and Survivor Series, you could have them doing their other odds and ends, but they have words, and maybe Gunther is still off that he had to get into his business. They ramp it up. Then you get to Survivor Series. You would have those two be team captains of a team of four. And then you're able to work in maybe a couple of tag teams and somebody else. You know, you put Obafemi with Trick Williams and a tag team, and then you have Gunther with Kit Williams. You know, not Kit Williams, or Kit Wilson. Um, that wouldn't work. But you would
I
put
love
them with other guys, you know, and you would have the rulers versus the ring generals or something. And they would tell their story at Survivor Series within that match. There's no blow off. You could protect both people very easily in Survivor Series, as we saw. Then you would move to Royal Rumble. That's the easiest one. You have them in the ring together at some point in the Royal Rumble. One person eliminates the other, and now we're off to WrestleMania. That's how we would have done it back in the day. Now there's too many pay-per-views and it wears these stories thin and we get sick of them by the time we get back to WrestleMania. So, if Brock Lesnar, if this is all a work, Gunther could cash in his favor with Paul Heyman and do a I want to have the match with Brock Lesnar. I want to retire him in his hometown, in his home state. He doesn't get to
it.
retire until the ring general retires him. You know, and I go, now you got something. Now you could still work in Obafemi the same way at the end of that match. Maybe Gunther does the same thing to Brock Lesnar. He doesn't let go of the sleeper, and it's starting to get disrespectful. And Obafemi comes out to stop that because even though he had to go through Brock Lesnar, he respects him. You know, that was a mano a mano match that they had at WrestleMania. So there's a lot of ways that they can go with that. And if they don't do this story, they're not doing it right because that's money right there. Gunther gets to say, I retired Brock Lesnar. Obafemi gets to say, yeah, I beat him on the grandest stage of them all. And it wasn't even close. I beat him before you did. Like there's so much to that rivalry that would make sense. I want to see it, book it. Okay, I'm back. Let's move on.
Hey, I've been agreeing with Brian on this for a while, guys. I feel like Brian is in the Matrix and he's seeing ahead to things. It may not even be the Matrix. He's in a time traveling machine right now,
Hmm.
seeing feuds before they even happen on this one, guys. Brian, let's get to maybe the most exciting part of the show. I don't know if it's the best match because we got a couple matches later in the show that are just chef's kiss, but this one
Yep.
right here, the Intercontinental Championship ladder match, is maybe some of the most fun I've had watching professional wrestling in forever. I usually go over and say everybody in this match, but I feel like we're going to talk about everybody because everybody just had such amazing moments in this match.
Yeah.
I want to give a shout out to JD McDonough real quick because that dude just gets in these matches and eats. Like he does
He
nothing
really
but take
does.
massive bumps. The fact that he took a Mexican destroyer off the top of a ladder onto another one, that is one of the most crunchy
It
spots
was.
I've seen in a while. Shout out Javon Evans. He's the MVP of this match and probably
Yep.
should have won it
Yeah.
because it's easy to say, "Oh, can't pull the trigger too early." Yes, you can. Yes, you can. That cutter he gave to Rusev off the top of the ladder. Are you serious, man? That's unbelievable
Awesome.
athleticism. Shout out to Rusev because he takes some bumps in this match.
Yep.
Maybe my favorite moment of the night is Ray dropping the dime on to Rusev through the ladder on the outside.
Awesome.
What a great spot. You would never know that Ray is in his 50s. He will never retire. And I feel like Dragon Lee might have been the most technical person in this whole match. He's all over the place. Like I truly would say this is up there in the WrestleMania ladder match lore of
Yep.
great WrestleMania ladder matches. And I know that's crazy to say because you have the tag team championship matches, obviously. You have the first ever Money in the Bank that CM Punk won, and that was one of the best ladder matches in WrestleMania history, but it is right up there. This is a phenomenal match. Please go rewatch because I can't do it justice sitting here describing it to you because that's how much fun this match is. It's a thumbs up, and not just myself, but everyone should go rewatch this match. If there was one match I'd recommend to a non-wrestling fan to go watch, it'd be this one right now because it is that much fun. Brian, what are your thoughts on this match?
Man, we we are so we're always so in agreement, Will. But that's because we're the power and glory, man.
That's
Paul
right.
Roma and Herc over here. Um, this match when this match started, it was about halfway through, and I looked at my wife and I said, "Okay, everybody after night one," I said, in this ladder match in particular, those guys had to have gotten together and said, we have to go have the best match of the entire weekend. Like, I feel like all of night two, everybody was giving a little extra because night one was such a show. It just felt that way. It felt like they went out there to try to do the best match. And I know everybody always tries to do that, but it felt like there
Yeah,
was something extra. This match should have started night one. This should have been the opening to night one, and maybe it would have been a different story because we would have been able to see for sure, was it just a dead crowd on night one, or was being presented just wasn't good. Shout out to Javon Evans. There's a spot in the match where I think it's Penta and maybe Rey Mysterio at the top of the ladder, and he's outside the ring and he climbs back in. And if you pay attention to what he's doing, he gets on the bottom of the ladder and he's holding it. He's selling it like he's just trying to get up, but you can see he's holding it because he's holding the ladder steady for those two guys. But that is good ring IQ, and that should be shouted out because that's somebody who you can trust in that ring and is a good worker. I just wanted to make sure that he got a proper shout out for that because it stood out, and I was like, good on you, Javon Evans. This match, big thumbs up. And yes, I've already rewatched this match again. It was really good. It was entertaining as hell.
yes. Two. great matches. And then the actual premium live event starts with the United States Championship match where Trick Williams, rightfully so, defeats the champion Sami Zayn in what is a good short match. And I'm hyped to have Trick Williams as our new United States Championship holder. And what an entrance! What an
Awesome.
entrance that was. It was right up there with the Liv Morgans, and we will talk about Finn Balor's of the world, and for that matter, the Dominic Mysterios of the world, of the
Hmm.
great WrestleMania entrances we had over this weekend. And it set the tone for a superstar making moment for Trick Williams. And he has the perfect manager with him because you want to talk about great celebrity involvement. There was a point where we were doing a review and I on Lil Yachty, and I'm here to admit it
You
that
did. It
I
was a
said
long time ago, but
it
you
was
did though.
it was a
Yeah.
while back,
You were
and
like,
I
I don't give
said,
a about Lil Yachty.
and now I do, and I'm sorry, Lil Yachty. I and I love Cold Sunday. It's one of my favorite songs. So you want to know what? I do care about Lil Yachty. He is probably up there with the Paul Heymans of the world of the best managers we
Yes.
currently have in professional wrestling.
How dare you, sir?
I know.
He is a performer. I am a manager, an oracle.
And you want to know what? Yachty's out there bumping his ass off, dude.
Yep.
Every time I see Yachty out there, he's taking a bump. He got thrown into the barricade this time by Sami Zayn. And you want to know what? This match, for as short as it was extremely entertaining. Another thumbs up. You see how night one we were thumbs down, thumbs down, thumbs down, and we barely got one thumbs up in. I'm already three in,
Yep.
and I'd rewatch this one. I
Ooh.
haven't got around to it yet, but a star making moment for Trick Willie. And did you hear the rap song they released about Sami Zayn?
No.
Oh my gosh. You
Wait,
have to
who
listen.
who's singing it?
Trick Williams and
No.
Lil Yachty. Oh
Oh,
my
oh
gosh,
man, I am so excited.
money. It's money.
Oh, this
It's
is gonna be
so
so
good.
good.
You're gonna have it stuck in your head like the Liv Morgan song,
Yep.
man. It's really great. So
Trouble, trouble. That's me.
this one is just as good. So
Oh, I'm
shout
excited.
out to Lil Yachty for elevating this feud, and it puts eyes onto at least Trick Williams from the rap scene. So this is how you do celebrity involvement.
Hmm.
Lil Yachty did not cost anyone a championship. But you want to know what? He's the ultimate hype man
Yep.
for Trick Williams, which is so funny because Trick Williams got his start in NXT being a hype man for Carmelo Hayes.
Yep.
So this is perfect. Full circle moment,
Yep.
it felt like almost. Huge thumbs up for me. Brian, I'm assuming we're agreeing on this.
Yeah. I Everybody knows, I think by now, I think we've said it enough. I love Trick Williams. Um, I think he's awesome. I love his character. I like him in Lash Legend. I like the whole thing. Um, I thought that his entrance was awesome. Again, night two, I feel like we have more WrestleMania style entrances than we did on night
Yeah,
one. We had Liv's, we had Cody's, um, but otherwise there wasn't a bunch of things that really stood out. Now, even in Obafemi's and Lesnar's, I don't feel like there was the big grand entrances because that's not what the draw of that match was. It was those two guys just being there in the same ring together. Um, where with this match, I feel like you said Lil Yachty he's the perfect celebrity addition to this feud to being attached to Trick Williams. Lil Yachty is Trick Williams, Jimmy Hart. It just dawned on me.
yeah.
He is literally the 2026 version of Jimmy Hart. That's right, baby. Just listen to what I'm telling you. Ooh, earthquake. He's the main earthquake. There ain't nobody better than him, baby. Like that's Lil Yachty. He's just
Yeah.
doing that with Trick Williams now. And it threw my pen. I got so excited as the mouth of the South, Colonel Jimmy Hart,
Yeah.
that I threw my pen
Nothing
in the
wrong with
air.
that.
Um, so I was so happy that Trick won. He's over. It felt like a big moment for him. Uh, I give it a thumbs up, but I don't think that I would watch it again, if I'm being
Yeah.
honest. It was a good match. It was a good moment. I was entertained and I was happy about it, but I don't think that I'd go back and watch it.
Yeah, that's totally fair. Let's go on to I'm gonna call it now the better street fight, the better no holds bar match of
Yeah.
the two that we got.
Yeah.
We have the Demon Finn Balor defeating Dominic Mysterio. This is a case of where the entrances before the match set the tone and the hype for the actual match. And then the actual match is just okay. But the entrances before, I mean, Dom had a superb entrance too, but it just gets outshined by the return of the Demon Finn Balor. And I felt like they did a good job of playing into the demon character. I felt like, sometimes the demon is just the extra tapped in ultra instinct for Finn, that extra bit of strength. Whereas this time he was playing it up a little more, like the sticking the tongue out.
Hmm.
And he never used to really do stuff like that. And that was a little bit weird for me. But I think they're trying to like play up the character a little bit more because it's been so long. It's been since WrestleMania 39 since we've seen the Demon. And you want to know what? I'm happy because this match was okay. I see, I'm looking as I'm, reviewing the match. I'm on the Star website for Dave Meltzer. He gave this one 3.5 stars. You want to know what? Brian, I agree with Dave Meltzer. This is about a 3.5 star match. You want to know what? It's right there. It's an okay match. It was more extreme. We had a bunch of great spots than the Jacob Fatu and Drew McIntyre match. Like, this is an Extreme Rules match. Although, I believe they titled it a street fight, and we didn't leave the ring, it felt like. I know it's one of your big pet peeves
Yep.
is a street fight that doesn't hit anywhere close to outside of the arena or even outside of the ring. And it's just a glorified no holds bar match. So I agree with you. You want to know what? That knocks it down a half star for me. And I hope it did for Dave Meltzer too. This is a 3 star match now for me. And I'm I'm gonna give it a thumbs up. I wouldn't rewatch it again though. I
Hmm.
wouldn't. And you want to know what? I think that's probably a fair assessment of it. Brian, what do you think?
In the words of Bruce Pritchard, fuck Dave Meltzer. Um, Boy. So I scribbled out my arrows, and I don't know if I'm going to scribble them out again. I'm very torn about this match. I love the entrances. I I love the demon gimmick. I love the whole thing about that. I've never gotten to experience it before, so I was happy to see it, but I was also angry because it would have been so much better if it was just Finn Balor versus Dom, and then the demon character comes out, and you're like, "Holy, what is going on?" That would have been so awesome. So I'm mad that they spoiled that and
Yes.
let the cat out of the bag with that. I feel like that was a big
Pointless.
mistake. The match itself what was fine, and I had a thumbs up written down for it until you reminded me that this was supposed to be a street fight, and I go,
I'm sorry.
I can't
So
remember
sorry.
anything about it that really made me go, ooh, wow. Wow, I can't believe they did that. I can't believe they went there. Like, I would have been happy if this match was a street fight and it worked its way out into the crowd and we got that Sol Ruka bump or something like that. That would have
Yeah.
been cool because you still protect guys if Dom takes that bump and he loses. that's okay because you took a back bump. You know what I mean? That doesn't kill your stock at all. So the fact that if it wasn't the demon, if I'm so torn on this match, Will, if
All
it
right.
wasn't the demon Finn Balor, this would have been a SmackDown match or a Raw match,
Yeah.
and it would have I would have had the same complaints that you didn't use the gimmick to this highest potential. I got to be fair, and I feel bad saying it. All of those things aren't enough. I'm giving it a thumbs down, and nah, I wouldn't watch it again, which is disappointing because
Yeah.
I thought for sure I was going to give it a thumbs up and not watch it again. But I got to be fair, man. If it
You
wasn't for the
have to.
demon gimmick, I don't know that I would have given it a thumbs up. So thumbs down, wouldn't watch it again.
All right, Brian and WWR family. Sometimes we have to admit when we are in the wrong.
Yep.
And in this match for the women's championship, where Rhea Ripley captured the title back off of Jade Cargill, we will have to admit we are wrong.
Yep.
This is Jade Cargill's best match, not only of her WWE career, and I'm not super well versed in AEW, but I did watch a lot of Jade Cargill in AEW when she had her streak with the TNT Championship. This is by far Jade's best match of her career.
Yeah.
And it almost makes me want to take back some of the things we have said. The criticism has been fair, but this is Jade's first time outside of Tiffany Stratton having a very capable multi-time champion, multi-time main eventer as a dancing partner.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what we get. I think this theory needs to be tested more.
Yeah.
Give Jade a Becky Lynch. Give Jade a Charlotte Flair. Give Jade an Alexa Bliss and see what she can do.
Mm-hmm.
We need less squash matches with a Michin or a B-Fab and more of this because, man, did some of those power moves look like legit power moves. I
Yeah.
don't know which choke slam I liked more. The one that Oba gave or the one that Jade gave Rhea.
Ooh.
Also, Jade, continue to bring out the spine buster. That is a
Yeah.
mean spine buster.
Yep. Looks good.
And in a match with Rhea Ripley, my MVP is Jade Cargill. So, yes, this match does get a thumbs up. Yes, I was wrong. Me and Brian, we were wrong here. And would I go back and watch it again? For the sake of it being Jade's best match, and I
Ooh.
wanted to be like, hey, this is the standard you're held to now. Like, yeah, I probably would in that sense. As a normal wrestling match, I probably wouldn't go back and watch it again. But that being said, great match here, great showing from Jade, exactly what she needed to kind of solidify herself on the main roster. And this is the version of her that she needs to bring to the table for now on. Like, there's no more going back to the 1 minute squash matches.
Yeah.
We need this. And, you know, they gave her time to wrestle. This was probably, I don't know, but it definitely felt like our longest women's match of the weekend.
It did. It really did.
So, Brian, take us away. I'm sure you have the same sentiment as me here.
So, so you're giving it a thumbs up, and
I'm good.
would you watch it again?
Probably because it's Jade's
Okay.
best match. I'm gonna
Okay.
watch it again. I will. I'm gonna go back.
Okay. So, I was wrong too. I'm not gonna go as far as not calling her the Ultimate Cargill because Ultimate Warrior had a good match at WrestleMania 6 and he had a good match with Macho Man at WrestleMania 7 or 8, whatever it was. Um, so Ultimate Warrior had a couple of good matches too. So I'm not willing to take away the moniker just yet. Um, but it was her best match. And the spine buster, like you said, it looks good. she worked pretty clean in this match. I thought Rhea did a good job in this match. They gave her a little bit more time than they normally do for Jade, and maybe it was a sink or swim moment, and I felt like she did pretty good. Um, Rhea was right to go over, uh, but let's see what we can do with Jade now. If you could get her to do, if you could add some more things to her bag that are other style of power moves that she could incorporate,
Yes.
it would play off of her strengths. Uh, Maybe have her go take some notes from Raquel. But I feel like when I watch Raquel, I like it better than Jade. And I don't know why that is, but Jade was pretty good. And I feel like maybe if she could expand that with other power type things, it's going to help. And this is a step in the right direction. Uh, Again, not going to take the ultimate Cargill off of her just yet, but I am going to give it the match a thumbs up, but I'm not going to watch it again.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I was going back and forth with
Yeah.
that one. Hey, another thing Jade does well, especially with the selling of Rhea Ripley, the big boot was dope in
Yeah.
this match
Yeah, she
too.
does a good, and that's another one that Raquel does so
Yeah,
well. That
that's
made
why I
that
thought of
look
it
so great. Yeah.
because you brought up Raquel and
Yeah.
yeah. Also, Rhea sells so well. One of
Yes.
the best sellers in
Yeah.
professional wrestling like history.
Yeah.
She's up there with the greats of that for sure. Brian, I said I had some hot takes for you, and this is where my hot takes come in. We
Uh-oh.
have the WWE
Uh-oh.
World Heavyweight Championship match between Roman Reigns defeating the champion CM Punk to become your new World Heavyweight Championship. And I really, really, really loved this match. This was a phenomenal showing for two dudes who have always been questioned, not always for CM Punk, but currently with his current age have been questioned, do they have that go in them?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, they do. This is a five-star classic, and this is probably my favorite match since Cody has finished the story. And before that, it would have been Rhea versus Io with the Naomi cash in at Women's Evolution, which is still one of my favorite matches ever. This match right here, I think tops it just by a little bit. You have everything from this match being technically sound to it being a finisher fest to you have them stealing each other's finisher. You have old man Punk
Yes.
flying through the air,
Yes.
delivering the elbow like he's show speed.
Yes.
Come on now. And he did it better. It is a beyond
Yes.
great match. And it didn't have any interference. And that was my one ask. If you go to the preview and
Mm-hmm.
predictions video,
Yep.
I say one thing. Please no interference. We don't need it. Because I knew in night one we were going to get it. We didn't get it. You let two phenomenal professional wrestlers go in there and do their job, and you get the result that everyone wanted. Not in the sense that Roman won, but no interference. And guess what? Sometimes you have to do the tough thing, and
Yep.
WWE hates doing that. You have to pick a winner. Someone has to win, someone has to lose. And you want to know what? Sometimes that sucks.
Yep.
But you want to know what? Now you have a five-star classic that you can point back to. And it's evidence that when you have a good build-up and you let two dudes go in there and wrestle, you can have a match like this. This is the best non-interference WrestleMania match
Yeah.
since Undertaker and Shawn Michaels. It is just a pure
Yep.
classic. And that's my hot take. I don't know if that's a cold take to some, but this is my favorite match since Cody finished the story. It is a phenomenal WrestleMania main event. And this is a double thumbs up and a rewatch from me, even though it is quite the long match. It is worth watching again. Brian, your thoughts?
Yeah. Um, this match tries to save the entire weekend. Uh, the build up for this match, I was questioning it at first, how they were going to make this work, but they made it work because you have two guys who understand the business. They understand how to tell a story. They understand how to get heat and they understand how to work a match to tell that story within the match. And there were so many great things about this. It should really bother me that there should have been a disqualification when Roman Reigns is using the stairs. I'm gonna let it go.
Yes.
And I love again, I love that Wade Barrett and Cole are trying to cover for that too. That it's WrestleMania. They're giving them so much more latitude. They want this thing to finish, and I go, okay, yes, we say that all the time in my NHL playoffs. Ooh, the referees, man, they're letting them play.
Yeah.
That was clearly that should have been a cross check, but that should have been interference. But they're letting them play because it's a game 7. So I like that the announce team was trying to do that. Wade Barrett, again, Wade Barrett, hands down, I think the best commentator that they have. I love Wade Barrett. I love
Love
that
that.
he gets to do the pay-per-views. He is such a great heel commentator. He is the modern version of Jesse Ventura, and I love it. I love Wade Barrett as a commentator. Shout out to you, Wade. Great job as always. Um, I love that for the finish of the match, we've seen it multiple times before where Punk will hit the GTS,
Hmm.
guy will fall into the ropes, fall back on his shoulders. But this time, this is where you have guys that understand the assignment. Just when we go, oh, we've seen this before, the whole match that he's been working, like you said, old man Punk is flying through the air like I show speed, and he has to be thinking I'm too old for that. And you get to that last moment, he got greedy and he couldn't do it. He couldn't get them all the way up. And you go, great ending to a great match. I give it a thumbs up. And yes, I would watch this match again. And the only other note that I have about this match that I will give credit to the bookers, they did a few things right over this weekend. And this is one thing with the build up to this story. They've done a good job. They understand that the bloodline is a winning story. They're going back to that. We talked about it ahead of time. I can't remember if it was me and you or if it was me and my wife talked about that ahead of time that just do what works and the bloodline works. And then Roman wins, and I go, oh my God. I said, they're retelling the bloodline story. The build up to this match, the whole backbone of this match was talking about Roman Reigns' family and the lineage of that whole thing. Catch it. So anybody who didn't have Netflix, anybody who's new and didn't know the bloodline story before, for everybody who came on at Cody finishing the story or after, if you didn't know all those years of bloodline stuff, you got caught up real quick. You understand who Roman Reigns is. You understand the lineage. You understand that they're important and they're legends. You get all that backstory. His entrance at WrestleMania is showing you the pictures to visually show you that. So now when we go forward, when we start getting into him and the Usos together again, when they start talking about all of that stuff or talking about family and all of that, anybody who wasn't there before understands what they're doing. So kudos to you guys because you're setting up the story going forward. So great job, everybody. I think that it was the match of the weekend. It was a great match. High marks, big thumbs up. We'll watch it again. Uh, I'm going to tally these up real quick, Will. Why don't you tell them about some of our other podcasts while I do that?
Well, Brian, we got the Realm Paranormal podcast. If you haven't already, go over there, like, subscribe, all the new content. We have Realm on Film. Brian's rocking the merch right now. It is sick. It might be some of our best Realm merch to date. So go over. The Sinners review is out. Do we have a new review?
No, but Curse of the Black Pearl will be coming out soon, guys. That's the next one. That's number 2.
So I know all of you have not gone and watched the Sinners review, and there's some shorts summarizing the review in a family friendly version.
Damn, Will, you are hitting it all. You're on
I am.
fire.
I'm trying to. And on top of that, we have some new shorts out. We have some over on the TikTok. If you haven't already and you just want to go over and show some love, you've already watched them over here, which I know a lot of you have, and we're very grateful for all the growth we've had on here. Go over to the TikTok and go like it over there too. Show all the love you can to the Wrestling with the Realm family. I want to say real quick, it has been a phenomenal WrestleMania season for us, and we're very grateful to have all these new subscribers. At this time right now, I don't have the exact number. Brian, do you have it pulled up? Brian's
Many
really good at.
subscribers we got. I think we're at 342, and we've had a lot of you guys jumping on recently. We appreciate you guys, man. We
Yeah.
appreciate you leaving comments. That really helps us out. We like interacting with you guys. Make sure you go on there and let us know if you're giving a all you have to do, make it real simple. Just put the match and then just give a thumbs up or thumbs down and then a second thumbs up or thumbs down so we know if you like it or not and if you'd watch it again. I'd love to see that. I'd love to see you guys interact because I feel like this is a great way to rate these. I'm curious. Uh, Will, there's a phone number that we have too. I'm
Oh,
gonna throw
yes.
yeah, we have a phone number. You guys can either call and leave a voicemail, or you can send a text message to this number for any one of the three Realm Family podcasts. Us here at Wrestling with the Realm, Realm on Film, or the TPRD, the Realm Paranormal Detective podcast. The number is 1-414-600-7049. Use that, have some fun. Text us on there and let us know what you think about the matches. We'd love to hear about it. Will, I have the final tallies.
Hit me with it.
Okay. So for Will, according to Will, this WrestleMania is a thumbs up and you'd watch it again.
Okay.
You have seven thumbs up and you have seven thumbs up for watching it again. So it was close. It was narrow. It was seven
It
six.
was. It
But
was.
yeah, Will is good. So you got a thumbs up and you'd watch this WrestleMania again.
Definitely watch night two. I would definitely watch night two for sure.
For me, I have seven thumbs down and eight wouldn't watch again. So for me, this WrestleMania is a thumbs down and I wouldn't watch it again. It's all here, guys. The numbers are all here.
I like
That,
it. I
that,
like that we
that's
have
it.
evidence to support our
That's right.
claims now.
Yep. I love this. This is great.
Yes, this is great. All right, Brian, do you have anything else for him before we head out?
No, this was a lot of fun. We've been waiting to do this one. Sorry it took so long, but this was good. This new rating
Yes,
system, it doesn't lie, Will. It's
it
just math.
doesn't. No, numbers don't lie. They just don't.
For this point forward, it is on your record now that you give a thumbs up to this WrestleMania and you would watch it again.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy. I don't
Yeah.
know. It's like I only like the
Yeah.
back half of it. Can I just watch the back half? No, I have to watch the whole thing now. So
Well, that's up to you to decide
yeah,
how you want to do it. But just
I
your
I love
overall
it.
thoughts. I mean, like WrestleMania 9, I go, if we went back and did this, I can tell you right now, it's a thumbs down. I would watch it again. So sometimes that'll happen. But this one just didn't do it for me. It had bright spots, but not enough to leave a good taste in my mouth, I guess.
I have one thought to leave everybody with as we close out today's episode. Last night on Raw, lots of "We Want Kyrie" chants. I hear it. I hear you guys. But where are the "We Want Apollo Crews" chants at? That's what I'm waiting to hear on SmackDown. Until next time, guys, I'm Will. It's my guy Brian over there. We're the Power and Glory podcasting, and we'll see you guys next time.
Godspeed, Janice. Well, don't use your demon light.
No, that thing's cursed.
Your cursed light.
Danhausen cursed that light.
Danhausen cursed it. Oh, yes, your Lighthausen is cursed. You are cursed.
I I forgot to put that in my notes. That's such a good reminder.
Oh, that we gotta talk about Danhausen?
Yeah, it was one of my favorite parts. All right. Son of a gun. I'm cursed.
You are cursed.
I don't know how I got cursed or what I did to deserve to get cursed.
Ah, perhaps it was Yokohausen.
It might have been. He might have cursed
Ah,
me.
yes, young Yokohausen. Ooh, that's a good one. I am excited because I'm going in the wrestling matrix.
You're pre-shooting your shot, Babe
I'm
Ruth
I am
style for
pre
wrestling.
going into the wrestling matrix, Will. I
I
am
love
that
it.
confident in this. And I know I
Yeah,
rambled on that one, but the me
but it
off right from the beginning.
but
I was Slinky. Relax, dude. What are you talking about? No, there's nothing there. Nobody's giving you anything. Would you stop? Um, you're messing me up, dude. It's making me lose my train of thought. Um,